Buenos días, buenas tardes, y buenas noches, bonjour, bonsoir, good morning, good afternoon, good evening, and good night, wherever you may be. Very short video for today, Wednesday, the 20th of May. It's been a busy day, but more on the front of community posts on YouTube. A lot has been put up there, so please check that. Chosen background of the day is one of the community posts that I put up there, just to make it 100% clear that there is no doubt that Ivor Lovelace went ahead and made some very harassing and intimidating phone calls. It's not to be debated, it's right there. If I move my fat head out of the way, you can read it. What is kind of interesting is at the top here we have Janie and Rosie. Janie and Rosie, both of them agreeing that this is a jolly good laugh to call someone, uninvited on the home phone. Something there from Janie and Rosie saying, you've been a naughty boy in reference to Ivor. Ha ha ha. Yes, very much into it then. And here is, again, if you can look carefully, here is Ivor saying that, yeah, what jolly good fun it is to call people on their home phone using a sat phone, he said. So I'm just making sure everyone understands there is no doubt about this. The facts are out there. This is what Ivor Lovelace has done and admitted to, and admitted that he enjoyed doing it. He even put up a little list of people that he confessed to doing that to. And we'll come back to that in just a second. But if you hear the likes of myself or Stargate or whoever it is saying that they know that they got a call from Ivor Lovelace, then you know that happened. Why would anyone make it up when the guy's already confessed to doing it and to enjoy doing it? So there we have it. And I would say, to my knowledge, I don't know anyone on our side that ever has done that or would do that. I think it is telling that when we weigh up who exactly is the intimidating troll in all this, I would say the person that gets on the phone, first of all, I would say the person that gets on the phone to do it is number one. The person that champions, that absolutely applauds and champions that person, is also an indicator of just how trollish, if that's a word, just how trollish they really are. It's on that side. I will come back to that idea in just a second. I know this has been a kind of frustrating period for some because there's a lot in the Jay Slater case that I want to focus on, and I'm working on a few things. But now that Inquestgate is rolling, I do want to make that a priority because, as I said earlier, going through those earlier messages, screenshots, conversations, etc., that happened at the time, it was very easy to overlook certain things. And another thing that I posted today was what looks like to me, very suspicious to me, looks like a message from Ivor Lovelace saying not only that he knew what the outcome of the inquest would be, but knowing that it would only happen on the Thursday. He quite clear about it, that we'll only need Thursday to go through this. This is yet another clue, I think, that a lot of inside information from the coroner's court has been passed on to the likes of Caz, the likes of Luggy, and I'm guessing through Debbie Duncan, but I don't know for sure. Someone else who I know was involved in trying to secure tickets at the time has hinted that it is someone within the court circle, if you like, an employee of the court. I don't know. All I know is what we heard at the time from, for example, Ivor, an unemployed crane operator, yeah, who doesn't know how to use the apostrophe, all of a sudden knows exactly what the result of the inquest will be, when it will be decided, and who is on the list. It does, to me, indicate that inside knowledge is being fed to some really nasty trolls that acted upon that. And I want to get into the intimidation that followed from that, subsequently. Not quite yet. I'm still amassing a kind of timeline and bits and pieces that will explain Inquestgate a little better. But I mean, conclusion number one, a lot of what I would consider court information was just passed without, any hesitation, willy-nilly, it seems, to the likes of Caz and Ivor. Hence, I guess, all of their great excitement on Inquest Day Part 2, when they knew, it seems to me, exactly who would be there from a list, not because of any conversation they had with anyone about bookings, but from a list, they knew exactly who would be there, who wouldn't be there, and who to target. And, sadly for Ali Harris, she was the one that ended up outside having to be confronted by that absolute knobhead, if I can use that word, from West Wales. There we go. Yesterday was very much featuring Caz Alice, but I do want to mention one other thing about Caz Alice, and then I think we might be done with Caz. Um, the lowest moment for Caz, I believe, was in a live when she was speaking directly, I believe, to poor Shaz. Now, not wishing to go over the whole thing again, but if you remember, poor Shaz, just before Christmas 2025, lost her son, a grieving mother, in the worst possible of circumstances. And all we've heard non-stop from the accident group is you must respect a grieving mother. You mustn't troll a grieving mother. You must, it's off bounds saying anything hurtful to a grieving mother. That's all we've heard from the accident group. And yet, in this live, word for word, well, first of all, let me tell you how to find the live. It's called Real Caz Alice, Please Stand Up. It's on Stargate's channel, but Stargate is now going by Lucky Star TV, I think, something like that. I'll try to post a link if you need it. But anyway, shout out to Claire for pointing this out to me. 53 minutes and 37 seconds is the timestamp in Real Caz Alice, Please Stand Up. These are the words you hear from Caz Alice, the ever protective, humane, loving, embracing Caz Alice. Remember who says, off limits to say anything negative or bad about a grieving mother. Says to grieving mother Shaz, you know what, Shaz? I'd kill myself if I was your child too. That is the heart and soul of the accident group right there. Those are the words of apparently someone that goes into meltdown if the grieving mother is called Debbie Duncan, and Debbie Duncan has some troll attacking her. Caz Alice attacking Shaz in the most brutal fashion. You know what, Shaz? I'd kill myself if I was your child too. It's out there. Those are the words, and never denied. Well, turns out this very humane spirited lass from Ireland, Caz Alice, seems to think it's okay because she did say, well, I apologize for that. All right. That makes everything okay then. You apologized for it. I see. But I wonder what you were sorry for. I mean, is it possible, Caz, you were just sorry because that got out there in a live? You couldn't delete it. Everyone heard it. Everyone that was interested heard it. Everyone can still hear it now. Is that what you're sorry about? That the whole world got to see your very dark, interior, nasty, venomous, hateful you? Is that what you're sorry about? And I'm just curious, why did you say that? It's all very well apologizing, but why did you say it? Because if you genuinely believe, Caz, if you genuinely believe that the grieving mother is off limits, is sacrosanct, as in the case of Debbie Duncan, why did you choose to turn that upside down in the most brutal and horrific way? Why? In my book, just saying sorry doesn't work there. Unless it's an explanation of how your heart could be so dark that you would say such a thing, It doesn't really wash, the whole apology thing. And this is why in email I said to Caz Alice that I find her despicable. Because time and time again, we have Caz either lying or saying the most horrific things just like that, over and over again. And where's the lie, you're going to say? The very same day, yesterday, I think it was, Caz says, listen to this, I have never mentioned his family, nor commented on anything about his family, nor anyone else's, nor anyone else's. Caz claiming she's never commented upon anyone else's family. What did she do to Shaz? Not only did she comment on Shaz's family, she made that brutal statement. If I was your child, I would kill myself too. So she lied plenty of times. Caz has commented on other people's family. Of course she has. She comes out with this nonsense, hoping it'll wash. It doesn't, Caz. You've been revealed for who you are. And I will continue, because until you face up to the horror that you really are, this ain't over. It's as simple as that. But the reason I go into all this is because I think it's actually typical, absolutely typical of the accident group. They have this halo above their heads protecting Debbie. Why? Why only protect Debbie? Why not protect mankind in general? Oh, because most of mankind they love to put the boot into, seems to me. So the question is, why only Debbie? Moving back to Ivor Lovelace. Now, in a post I just saw, this is recent, Ivor revealed some of the names, not all, some of the names of the people he called. Phone call on his set phone. One of those names, to my surprise, never heard this before, never seen it before, was me. Apparently, Ivor tried to call me. That astounds me because, to my knowledge, there's probably 3 people in the world that know my number. And one of them is not Ivor, but hats off to him. Hats off to him if he's found out my number. So let's try this again. Ivor says he called me and I didn't pick up. To be honest, if I went through the list of calls over the last year where I picked up or didn't pick up, it's a very, very short list. I'm not a phone person. It's probably in there if a call came through and I didn't pick it up. But that is why I invited Ivor to try that call again, because I've said over and over, I would like nothing more than perfectly civilized, as far as it can be, exchange of ideas, a debate. Why not? I've pushed for this over and over. I said, please, I beg you, someone in the accident group, just get on a Zoom call with me and let's thrash this out and let's see who comes out looking the better. Why not? And I think we now have that opening because logically, if Ivor did call my number, there it is, there's the phone. If Ivor did call that number and I didn't pick up, I presume he'd be quite happy to call it again and for me to pick up, which I will. So let's try this, Ivor. I mean, you can tell me the day, date, time, whatever works for you. But unless you object, let's go for Friday, midday, UK time. I'll be ready. And what I've always said, I want it unedited, live, and let's put it out to the public. So if Ivor's up for this, midday Friday, Mrs. Smith, be ready to phone the moment the phone lights up, the incoming call is there. We start talking, and I'm on the video here, I'm on the laptop, and it's all filmed. Hopefully, if all the technology works, you can hear the conversation and see it in real time. Well, you'll see it later, but you'll see word for word what happens. I think we finally have a breakthrough. Now, Ivor has said he thinks in some bizarre way that he's offered that exchange of ideas before. He hasn't. All that's happened before is on an EP TikTok live, EP suggested to Ivor that he actually speaks with me, and Ivor accepted. But I've already explained on a laptop you cannot join a TikTok live. At least it didn't work for me when EP tried the same technology because he knows more about this than me. He said, "Yeah, you're right, Duncan. Actually, joining a TikTok live from a laptop doesn't seem to work." And I said, "I know." But the other reason I would not, even if that technology worked for me, the other reason I wouldn't have joined Luggy on an EP live is simply because there is no debate there. It's just a shouting match, and it degenerates into Luggy saying over anyone that's talking and just launching his voice of everyone else. And I'm not into that. I'm into in a one-on-one fair exchange of ideas. You have 2 minutes to talk. I have 2 minutes to talk. Question and answer. As long as there's some structure there, I have no problem with it. But EP's lives weren't like that, and I couldn't join. Here we go. But now that we know that Ivor did, let's assume he's telling the truth, did call me, does have my number, then he can do it again. So, Friday, midday, let's do this, Ivor. You call that number you've got for me. We'll all be ready. The world will be ready and waiting and watching. And we can finally go voice to voice. Let me wrap up this by just making a quick note on how people have fared over the last few months or year or so since the Slater case has been out there. Because I'm curious how the accident group would assess how it has gone for them in general. Because we keep hearing how well they have done. I mean, Luggy's whole channel is all about slaying the trolls. He's a troll slayer. How's it gone for you, Luggy, in the last year or so, slaying the trolls? How has it gone for you? I'm still here. Got my own website, doing very well, justiceforj.com. Alive and well on TikTok. Yeah, I had a few ups and downs on YouTube, but right now, still got the same number of views and same number of subscribers. Really hasn't changed much for me at all. Quite perky, in good health, and relishing Friday's phone call with you, Ivor. So all I can say is from my standpoint, everything has gone very, very well. Yeah? Your troll slaying hasn't really worked with me. But what has been the effect of your approach on other people? Well, for Debbie Duncan, we heard she had a nervous breakdown. She's no longer working. I guess your approach hasn't really worked for her, has it, Ivor? We heard that Brad, through Rocky, said that he was having mental health problems. I guess your approach at troll slaying hasn't really worked for Brad, has it, Ivor? Caz herself said, "I'm fed up of being bullied by all and sundry." Well, you've got to ask yourself, Caz and Ivor, why is it that all and sundry would ever think of bullying you, Caz? Oh, I don't know. Maybe words like, "You know what, Shaz, I'd kill myself if I was your child too." I mean, that could be a clue there, Caz, why all and sundry seem to want to bully you. But you've also said you've been crying. I don't know, Caz. How's Ivor's troll slaying approach gone for you, Caz, so far? Everything looking good for you, Caz? Not for Debbie, not for Brad. What about Chris Pennington? Tell you what, I saw a broken man there. Don't know how he's doing now. He's crawled back under his stone. He doesn't have much to say now. But the guy I saw, drinking, smoking, late at night, slurring. I don't think troll slaying your style, Ivor, has done Chris a lot of good. Don't know. We'll see. We've got Melissa. How's she doing? I don't know. Not that I believe a word Melissa says, but apparently her runway is running out too. Not going particularly well for butch old Melissa. Then it's Luggy himself. Can't go on camera anymore. Used to be in his swivel chair entertaining us all with his bravado, his swagger, and the dark glasses, had the very stuffing knocked out of him. All he's reduced to is posting, posting, posting. Showing us he hasn't mastered the apostrophe and he relies on AI. That's it. How's it going for El Slugtardo? Well, we'll find out on Friday when we go voice to voice, eh? If you've got my number, Sluggy, call it and we'll find out how things are going for you. Let's see how you fare in a lively debate. And then we have someone like Joanna, another of the accident group. Joanna, she quotes saying, I'm getting very depressed now. Why would you be depressed, Joanna? Things are going so swimmingly for the accident group. You should be buoyed up. You should be alive with energy and triumph and joy. But no, Joanna says, I'm getting very depressed now. Your side's doing fine. Have a look at the comments. Ivor, Joanna, Melissa, Caz. Have a look at the comments that are flooding in on my channel. People generally in very, very good spirits. So time, Ivor, for you to question your approach here. Your troll slaying attitude. How's it done for the people you think are on your side? I would say not great. I think I will leave it there. I've got a lot more to say, but Inquestgate, yes. Going to try to find out a few truths about that because it seems to me almost certain that Caz and Ivor were being fed information that should never have happened. And that's why they were so buoyed up at the time about what they knew would happen. Just my take so far. Let's leave it there. Hasta luego, adios, and I will see you next time. Tomorrow, Ivor, Friday. Unless you can't make it Friday midday, UK time, tell me. Friday it is. See you then.